Let's make repetitive text automated with Wise Options Friendly Editor and default comments. With these tools, veterinarians and technicians will breeze through discharges and notes. Eduardo, how are you doing today?
Happy to save clicks and keystrokes. It amazes me the number of things we can make faster, and I'm excited to share that with our users.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for joining us for another Wise Tips. We're really excited today to be going over default comments and friendly editor. So let's go ahead and we'll get right into it. Give me 1 second and we'll go ahead and get right into it.
Yes, like I said, it's amazing, how one click here, one keystroke there. At the end of the day, we might be talking about hundreds.
Yeah. And the best part about these tools here is it's kind of a one and done sort of a situation. You take the time to set it up in the beginning, and honestly, it's not really a lot of setup, and it's something that saves you time every single day.
Yes. So one-time deal. I think we have all this big excuse that we do things, I don't have time for training, but if you do invest your time, we promise you the payback.
Absolutely. Definitely. Well, I think we should start with default comments here.
Let's do that.
So default comments are a way for users, of course, to automate and have specific comments tied to specific task files. So this is really helpful for our users that want to make notes on specific task files when they're entering in, maybe when they're entering in an exam note, or they're entering in a note about a specific drug and how it was given or how it should be given, and it's tied to that specific line item on the invoice. This can be really helpful for that.
The nature of the business sometimes will take us to so many repetitions, and if one takes to the other, why to write the same thing over and over?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll do one example, as I mentioned before. It is here on the task file itself, and it's actually over here. And forgive me, I'm on a little bit of a different device here today, so my Zoom skills aren't as on point as it is today.
It's working pretty good.
Okay, so it's working over there on the far left-hand side here. This actually shows here the default comment. I actually do have one set for this. So it is really important that you can actually create a comment and then you apply that to a specific task file. So you can see here in this drop-down list, I actually have multiple comments that I have named, and then I can apply them to task files. So you can actually name them for a specific task, or you can repeat that same comment across multiple.
Yeah, the idea, of course, came from a user who was typing things over and over and asked us, if we could have the default comment for that particular task.
Yes, absolutely. So show kind of an example here. I'm just going to pick on here an invoice, just kind of an example, and go ahead and use that same Vanamine there and see what that looks like. Another thing I really like about the default comments is the ability to actually specify whether or not you want things in the short comment section or the long comment section. So you can have text in both. And I like that when you create that default comment, that you can actually set it so that that comment that displays, it actually shows, whether or not that shows on the invoice or not.
I'm just going to take the opportunity you gave me, because you just made those columns a little bit, smaller in the invoice, because where you were, I love the way, because you were not seeing the end of the thing and the progress bar was on the bottom.
Yes.
So to see everything, it will memorize. That's a one-time deal as well.
Yeah. I think I forgot probably to check here to make sure I actually had something set up here. I don't think I did. Actually, note to self, actually finish.
Well, it's good because now people know how to set it up.
Exactly. Yes, you can take a look here at the setup. I had it specified for a specific professional too. There's some cool things in there. Ask us questions about them.
Yeah, and it could be like the idea here on this training is not to, it's not a training, it's a quick tip. I think you should go deep on the training to see how to customize each one, but you have so many different variables. You can pick and choose when specific comments should show.
Yes. Yep. Based on invoice type, based on professional. And then now, of course, then there's my default comments there. Of course, you can always.
You were so fast typing this, Rachel.
Well, I didn't
even see.
I adjusted the settings. But yes, I know it's like magic. So
it was like magic.
Exactly. So, excuse me, easily things that, again, something that sometimes becomes really repetitive, something that's just very easy to kind of automate in that process. Very similarly, our friendly editor tool goes right hand in hand with that. And that's a really neat tool because it can be used across basically anywhere there's a text box and wise options. So everywhere that I just showed you, like the comments on the procedures, but also if you're one that uses like the discharge instructions too, that's another really popular spot for this. And you'll find that icon at the top right corner of any one of those text boxes. And really what it is an opportunity for you to make text templates. Again, it's a one-time setup. Maybe every once in a while you edit it if you want to change these, but this is everything from exam notes, discharge instructions, different, observations, and being able to type out something that sounds very professional and very put together, and you can just make little tweaks to it there. And it can be everything from, whole paragraphs and essays to words or phrases or sentences. So you don't have to make this a very big template. You can make this really short ones. I think I've even got some here that I have that are like closing statements here. So that might just be kind of a very, very basic, something I can throw there on the end of my discharge instructions that I know is just going to sound really good, close out, round out, and I don't have to retype it over and over again.
I like the fact that you can create categories for those comments. I like the fact that you can click in more than one comment so you can build up your largest string as you go. And I also like the fact that this is going to be an amazing help avoiding misspellings. You can, put little placeholders or containers that you just change the values. Creativity is unlimited here.
Yes. Yeah. And another, again, not a training, but just to show you what it can do too. Instead of you even having to click like I did on the group and then select the right template, you can even make text macros for these too. So instead of you having to click anything, I could just type in the macro I had for that string template. Actually, if I spell it correctly, that would help. So we'll try that one more time. Again, spelling it correctly is very helpful. No, we're actually having a macro there. Let me make sure I can actually do that real quick.
Yeah, you have to save the macro.
Yeah.
I don't think this feature is activated yet, is it?
Oh, it might not be.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think we are with that feature activated.
Well,
but the point is that, macros is always the shortcut for this one.
Yeah.
The friendly editor, learning the buttons. I've seen users being so fast and putting very professional, good-looking texts that, for the end customer is going to look like, service provided, the customer experience when you give a thorough report in your invoices or departures or, like in this case, discharge instructions.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So again, whole idea here is to make these repetitive tasks something that can be automated within the system. And these two tools are something that can absolutely do that for you. So we really appreciate you stepping in with us here today. As always, if you have any questions, let us know. And Eduardo, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes. And remember, subscribe to our channels. Sometimes the videos are open. Sometimes it's only in our Facebook discussion group. So yeah. If you give a like, your peers, your other co-workers will receive a copy of this. Share the comments because it's all about making the practice more efficient. And this will also be available in our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
See you next time.